Indiana at the Hall of Heroes. It's a superhero museum. We're gonna go in and take a look around and bring you guys with us.
Hello, welcome to the Hall of Heroes. We are the largest collection of superhero and comic book memorabilia. We collect all of the history of every superhero and comic book, and we have lots of film used, comic books used, props and displays. We have all of our costumes are film used, and we have lots of props in the cases, so they all have signs on them. We also have the first issues of the appearance of every superhero in the cases, so keep an eye out for that. This side is all Marvel. It goes in order of the very first character, Captain America, and then if you follow it around and zigzag through, you go through the entire history of Marvel. The other side is DC and Independent, and it does the same thing, so you just start on the other side and go through, and it's in order. So. We're located at 1915 Cassopolis Street in Elkhart, Indiana, so if you're ever in Elkhart, please stop by.
The Hall of Heroes is the only superhero and comic book museum in the world preserving and covering the entire 80-year history of superheroes in comics, toys, film, and animation. It offers fans of superheroes film, animation, and history in general an opportunity to gaze and interact with one of the largest collections of superhero memorabilia. This is the shield used by Chris Evans, and it was autographed by the entire crew on the back. We were told that a lot of the costumes and props that they normally have here were at a Comic-Con show the weekend we were there, but we still got to see Iron Man, which was so cool, and the car that he fell in during the movie. Apparently, you could get your picture laying in the car just like Iron Man did. This was such a cool display. We are big fans of Iron Man. This was one of the actual costumes used in the Spider-Man movie. There were huge display cases all throughout the museum where you could see all the collectibles. And then there were big file cabinets with the actual comic books inside. Alan Stewart is the curator of the Hall of Heroes Museum and is one of the foremost comic book historians in the country. The publisher of Hall of Heroes comics, that was one of the top 5 small press comic companies in the 1990s. He also appeared on The Toy Hunter, Stanley's Superfans, The Collectible Show, and numerous other programs. There was quite an impressive collection of the metal lunchboxes. They were so cool to see, and they all had the thermos. We spent so much time going through this museum. All the little figurines were so neat to look at, and a lot of them our kids had when they were little. They're probably worth a fortune now. In this museum, there was over 70,000 comic books, over 10,000 toys and figures and props, and over 100 pieces of original comic art pages and animation cells from the favorite cartoons we once watched. Who remembers Green Lantern? They even had the ring used in the movie. And the Flash. There were so many heroes that I had forgotten about. This is Dean Cain's Superman costume from the movie Lois and Clark. Keith got in on the action too. The Hall of Justice and all those characters brought back a lot of memories for Saturday morning cartoons. The Greatest American Hero costume, and it's signed. And there's the Tick. Do you remember that guy? I think that movie kind of bombed. And here is the Batman section. In the 60s, there was a TV show called Batman, and there was so many pictures from the TV show, and these are the original costumes and props. It was so cool to see. Saturday morning cartoons. Back when we were growing up, there was no cable TV, and we only got to see cartoons one day a week on Saturday morning. As you complete the tour and make your way back to the front of the museum, there are all these vintage games which you can play absolutely free for the price of admission, which is $10 for an adult. They also had a very nice selection of gifts that you could purchase. When you think of Elkhart, Indiana, you may think of musical instruments or even recreational vehicles. You probably wouldn't think that Elkhart would be the place that would have the largest collection of superhero memorabilia in the entire United States, possibly the world. They have a party room there that you can rent out for special events. This is such a cool place if you love superheroes. Keith grew up in Elkhart, and so when we made the trip to Elkhart for his 50th class reunion, we said we have got to go to this superhero museum, and we are so glad that we did. It's such a great place to visit. This was the display case featuring Stan Lee and other superheroes from the TV shows and movies. They were so realistic. We hope you've enjoyed this small peek into this awesome museum. It truly was a walk down memory lane for us. If you'd like to see more of our videos, click the video that just popped up on your screen.